On the crisis, I've heard nobody saying that trade was one of the reasons for this crisis. Nobody said that. The fact that unregulated finance was among the reasons for this crisis, certainly. But trade is not a cause of the crisis. Trade is a victim of the crisis. And if you listen to our members, especially developing country members, this is their view. Which is why, in order to exit the crisis, first, keeping trade open is one of their major preoccupations, which is why we try to make sure that the existing disciplines work, and overall they have worked, and they have worked to the benefit of those who trade more than others, which are on the developing country side. And then the notion that as this is probably not the last crisis of this kind, reinforcing this sort of insurance policy is there. Now, if there are people among you who believe that trade is among the origins of the crisis, I'm perfectly ready to discuss and debate this, but I've never heard this seriously argumented.
There are some people actually who say the current trade rules have led to the crisis because of the systemic imbalances between exports and imports. But more importantly, as we all know, the WTO rules aren't limited to trade. And in fact, agreements like the General Agreement on Trade and Services focus on services, including their regulation within countries. And I guess to follow up on yesterday's briefing at the ILO, Celso Amorim, the Brazilian trade minister, the South African trade minister, raised the concern that as well 4 WTO member countries have tabled officially in the Financial Services Committee with respect to the existing WTO rules that promote deregulation of financial services. And you repeated the same statement you've made before, that there's nothing that promotes deregulation. But the existing rules are the rules, and as you said, you're a man who believes in enforcing the rules. So a very concrete question. For the 33 countries that have a standstill commitment, standstill on the financial regulation, deregulation as of 1999, all the European countries, the US, Nigeria, Sri Lanka, other countries, now that they're re-regulating, how is this not a violation? And short of hoping that challenges don't occur, why wouldn't it be in the interest of the WTO to modify these rules, to update the institution to the post-crisis reality, so that countries can re-regulate? Thank you.
On Lauri's question, she'll be very happy to listen for the 3rd time in a week. My strong view that WTO is not in the business of deregulation. We are in the business of trade opening, and trade opening and deregulation are 2 different things. Unfortunately, mixed in the English language under the word liberalization, which can mean tons of things. So, you can open your market and regulate it. You can open your market and deregulate it. Not our problem.